messed it up. That was the one thing. She's classically trained. And
she was the nicest girl.
It's really sad because
she's a great person.
Supposedly, you know, classically
so
trained. Should be in an orchestra doing big things on stage there, but
she nosed it right up.
She fluffed it. She fluffed it. Good start here for Fnatic though. So Fnatic versus G2 is the match, James, and it is NBK with the plants. He does have two members of Fnatic to come in for the retake though. Flusher and Golden on the way, and they have a kid as well. So NBK is definitely going to have a hard time here if Fnatic play this well. Going to dive into the pit position, play the headshot angle. Will Fnatic try to bum rush him down? Indeed, there's a nice pop, but can't finish off Golden, and that's a round for Fnatic on that CT side. You know, I found Salon is for some reason, like I don't know, we were talking about some of these old videos. James mentioned our video, and then he sort of he mentioned it to you from my channel, and then I went back and looked at all these old videos from like 5 years ago that I'd made, right?
Yeah.
But I found a video, or like 3 or 4 videos of when I was doing like, when I just started doing commentary in CS:GO, and as I was practicing, like being excited and diction and all this kind of crap, and it's actually so incredibly terrible. It is beyond me why anyone have ever hired me or considered hiring me. It's unreal.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Like I made a YouTube video and cast it to myself. It was so weird talking to my computer for the first time.
Yeah.
What a sentence.
But the full CZs are out here for G2 despite getting the bomb down in that previous round, and they're losing it. They have decided to invest the money's here. That seated armor and grenades utility. Going for an execution with the CZs. I like this. I'm looking forward to seeing the potential. JW creeps with the smoke at the perfect timing, understands that it's going to be a playthrough quad, and snaps down NBK as well. This push, man, it might do some damage, but because of JW, we'll never know how much damage it could have done, perhaps.
Our body is still alive, and he's got a CZ. He's killed 2 players already, but he has 5 bullets remaining and 3 people to try and kill, so he needs to take out JW close. We've avoided flashbang. Opportunities have come and gone. There's the bomb on the floor now. I don't know if Shox has been detected, but now he certainly has. He's going to get his bell rung, and he will not be able to answer the door on this occasion. 2-0. Crisis averted for Fnatic. Lovely play by JW. Lovely brazen play as usual.
Sometimes I see that. Sometimes I see that, like the CZ running out of bullets. I think it's supposed to be. It's obviously not balanced perfectly or whatever, but it's balanced with the objective of okay, you have less bullets, so you can't get too many kills with it. But that makes it easier to get the first or second kill. Like if you're taking away ammo, it's because they think it's better at getting a kill, like 1 kill, right, than it is to spam it and use it the whole round. Which I feel like that's the most important thing, though, is to get 1 or 2 kills.
Was it 4 kills that Twist got with 1?
Yes, 4 kills.
1 clip, yeah.
Yeah. Magazine.
Oh, magazine, yeah.
Because
you told us that all the guns are magazine, and now you're saying
I've been hanging out with you guys a lot.
You can't trust this man.
The thing is, I've been hanging out with you guys.
He's got weird ideas.
I even wrote it down. It's a magazine, not a clip, in my notepad.
Right.
Because this is something that's plagued me and James forever.
Oh, yeah.
And someone always tells us, and then we always immediately forget, both of us.
Yeah. Okay. Well, crap. Also, it's I think shotguns are clips.
Shotguns are not clips. Shotguns are shotgun shells.
Oh.
Yeah, that's definitely
there
shells.
might be something. One of them.
Like you manually load every shell into a Nova, for example. The Mag 7, I don't know, because that's a very unique type of shotgun, so that might be a magazine or a
Yeah, that could be a magazine, actually.
Yeah, because that is loaded in a weird way. As for the XM, I don't know, because it could vary. The ones in the UK are weird because they're very limited. Oh, this
I heard, yeah.
Yeah, the ones in the UK, you can't have a shotgun that can contain more than 3 shells unless you have a firearms license or you are the police and you would use them for dangerous dogs. But in the US, obviously, you can have them like 5, 7 shells. So
your police don't have don't have guns, right?
They do these days.
They do, but they don't carry they don't carry them by default, but more do than they used to.
Oh, okay.
They have like yeah, a lot in London.
So if you are viewing the CS:GO action here, as we have a pause, I think this is a good time to mention that feel free to tweet at us with hashtag ECS4. Any questions or anything that you may want discussed? Like yesterday, for example, someone tweeted me saying, "Can I bring up a discussion about USP versus Glock?" And if you have anything that you want us to talk about, then you may as well save us from what otherwise could be a story about Eggs Benedict falling on James's trousers.
You should tweet us if you have relationship questions for us. Then now is the time.
I'll absolutely field those.
Now's the time.
And you have two perspectives at the very least, because Launders is a very wild child with his napkins in bars and so on.
Do you remember Cam's? Have you seen the Cam's breast exam? Did I talk about this? He had the.
I've never discussed breast exams with you. Launders, no. It was a breast exam awareness commercial campaign in America. Okay.
It was called Cam's breast exam, and the tagline was "Put your breasts in my hand," like talking about doing mammograms.
Okay.
But it was to tell you to do them yourself. So they had a guy who had like a hotline. It was like, "Call me and put your breasts in my hands, and I'll do the mammogram."
Wow.
What is the point of this story? I don't know.
He's got to see a man about a mammogram?
No.
No? That sounds like some
Because I mean, you mentioned a story, right?
Yeah.
But what is it? Is it
No,
in relation to something?
It comes. I want that format to be. This would be the hotline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Cool.
put your metaphorical. I can't say that. Not with all that's going on. I can't say that. But anyway, tweet us if you have relationship advice, and maybe Launders will find a way to link it to breast exams.
I think you need to, for all of your advice, everything needs to have, like, you have to somehow put a napkin in there. It has to be at some point in there, in your advice.
Yeah.
I think that's your.
It does always
limitation.
come back to the napkin, so
Yeah.
I'll find a way.
That's good. That's good. Cool. Right then. So.
What is it
how's
score?
it going,
2-0,
guys?
3-0?
3-0.
Weather sucks right now.
3-0.
It'll be 2. Well, yeah, it'll be 3. They're resetting round 4.
Yep. They lost the CZ. So producers wants us to go to break. Should we rebel?
Well, let's see if we have any questions first.
Okay.
I'll look at my Twitter. I'll be disappointed if there's no questions for me. Oh man, you're getting wrecked by production, Dan. You're getting wrecked. TikTok, come on, load. There's no questions. Let's go to break. Break time. We'll see you after the break.
The perfect competitive environment. It means no crowds, no distractions. It's not that we don't love the fans. We figured we'd go back to what made us great by recreating the perfect competitive environment.
Can't you win like a car in Faceit? Guys, do you want to take the car?
Tune in to the ECS Season 4 Finals, December 15th through 17th. It's going down in Cancun, Mexico. Live, only on youtube.com/Faceit.
If you're a fan of crutches, then get your hands on this. But now let's focus on an even greater product, Taser.com, a competitive gaming platform.
Wow, James, that sure sounds amazing.
It is amazing, Dan. On Taser, you can find the toughest dudes in the galaxy.
I heard it's got all these great features for real gaming.
Yes, it has, Dan. Like a voice communication system. Just post one to your friends.
Wow, James, that sure is cutting-edge technology.
Radios must be within a 10-metre straight line with clear line of sight and sunny weather with no wind.
Do you keep getting wrecked by hacker noobs online? Introducing new Taser security system.
Wow, it's so lightweight. It feels like there's nothing inside.
That's correct, Dan. But there's more.
Behavioural index to keep you from playing with idiots. An easy way to send in your results. Multiple game titles. And here you can see a happy customer.
It's great!
If you sign up within the next 4 minutes, you will get these items for free. James White's best Christmas songs. Watermelon signed by Dan Black.
Fan är det här?
Hello, welcome back. I think, yes, so Flusher's having internet issues. I think his internet just straight up died. So Jumpy, the coach, is going to be playing instead. And Jumpy obviously has quite a history in CSGO as in the past as a player, as well as 1.6. So
He's
let's
got
see
a
if
knife. He must be good.
Let's see if he can outperform Dead for SK, who basically top fragged every game for SK just yesterday as a stand-in, as he was their coach.
No one will ever do as well as Dead yesterday.
Yeah.
As a stand-in.
It can't be beaten.
That was literally the most insane thing I've ever seen. I like how Jumpy did his name. That underscore is very creative. And it's also like, it looks like a U, but it's also like you jump from the J to the M.
And also, it kind of looks like a space bar, a nice space bar to jump.
Oh, cringe.
Whoa, come on.
Jeez.
Come on, and yours wasn't
expected
cringy?
more of you.
Wow.
Thought you'd at least use like right click or something.
No, that's not what I do.
That's not hot.
Spacebar life. So this will be pretty tough for Fnatic. At the very least, they do have the good start. So, okay, sure, they're playing with their coach, but maybe they can get enough value out of this early momentum to sort of mitigate that disadvantage. Shox looking to chase down the frags here. Grim's playing it smart, not allowing Shox to take him down without finding Golden first, but Shox is hungry, and he's happy to basically frag anybody in his way to killing Crims. Crims is the prey, Shox is the predator, and Crims will die. The question is whether or not Shox has been sated, and that's apparently the answer to that is no. Another frag for Shox here as he makes it into a 2v1. What an effort from Shox. Crow coming in from Banana now. Now will he look into the right places here? Very weak MBK to potentially take down. There it is, very fast shot. Even goes for the overkill there, gets the headshot. Shox looking for it. Oh my god, playing the corner here so tight. Pulls out the USP, Lekra goes to the wide peak. Almost gets it, but it's the quad kill clutch from Shox. Wow.
Gotta give credit to Body though, even though he didn't get a kill in that he was over towards Banana first and was looking for the entries, which maybe spurred on the play from G2 in that direction.
Shox not looking that clean. He's not looking Shoxy, you know? Like he got the 4K. It's good positioning and stuff, but where's that? How come his aim doesn't look that good?
I see what you're saying, like it's not like he's crisp. Shot straight to the face.
Yeah.
Body's absorbed his skills.
He's
Shox is on 1 HP.
Yeah, I was about to say. I don't know how. Presumably nades.
I'm curious how Jumpy will do, because Flush is such an important player for Fnatic. Well, so far, so good on the A site for Fnatic in this round, where they're looking to reset the economy of G2, although I suppose they're both at risk of being reset in this round after losing the first buy round. Crims has been left alone towards Banana, and he has a smoke in the hole. There's a minute on the clock, so it makes things tiresome for the opponent. But he's moving back to the site, so he won't have the information.
What hit Shox? Because he took 60 armor damage as well, and 99 health damage. What the hell hit him? Because presumably you hit him right at the start of the round, obviously.
Must
so
have been grenades.
Damn, that is a lot of damage.
I think the most armor you can lose in one round is it 40? So it might be he might have taken damage from the previous round and not leveled it up.
Oh yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah.
I think it's 40, but don't quote me on that. But there is a limit to damage. Oh well, look at this. The presence towards B has sent 2 players in that direction. And Jumpy's on his own. Throwing out the pop flash, trying to buy some time for his team, and he's done that at the very least. Gets shot in the head multiple times, however, with that UMP. But 3-on-2, Fnatic still have the man advantage. Shox is still on 1 HP.
Uh-oh. He really wants the longer range gun. Oh, 1 HP. Still as good as 100. Sometimes with the op, especially. He's probably going to reach out for it. Oh, Body really tagged too.
Yeah, I can see you grimacing there at the prospect of Shox missing a shot.
Yeah. I also kind of wanted, also kind of hoped that he would have got hit with a flashbang or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be pretty sick. Still though, he is on 7 kills in the 5 rounds that have been played, so obviously not doing too bad with that quad kill clutch in there as well.
The instant force up in response.
Yeah, they planted the bomb, at least. G2. Maybe it make a difference for them in this round. Kenny not messing around towards the B bump site. There is a player rotating, and Lecro, he could throw a flash into the pool, but he doesn't throw any grenades. Opting to start with his gun. And he's lost a player on the site, so we'll see if they can hold on to construction at the very least. G2 were all over the site, so not really necessarily the most ideal situation to pull out a grenade. Never know what's around the corner when you jump out of Speedway. So G2 may get a lot more than you would expect out of this round. They, again, it's forced by the remaining 4 players, have a stronghold on B and Banana. They've got a boost on the side as well. They've got 3 rifles now. So this is going to be very difficult for Fnatic.
Nice flick from JW to kick things off here on the re-entry to the B-bomb site. And that's going to definitely buy some space here for Fnatic. Placing Banana will be somewhat troublesome, although Lecro will remove the presence from Shadow. And that's it. Nice boost there coming in from the sandbags in JW. There's not too much he can do here. He has to try to get out of there somehow, still alive. Looking to make a frag before he dies, but it will be everyone to die at the end of the round as G2 get the bomb detonation. And Fnatic's economy rocked well and truly, and that will not be good news for them.
Jumpy's got no kills yet. Just saying.
Whoa.
Just saying, not JPG. If that is
To be
JPG.
fair, he did miss the first 3 rounds. He only played like 3 rounds.
Oh, that's true. I wonder if you did a search for just saying.jpg, what would come up. I might do a search for that later on. That's a nice grenade, but well, it looks like there's a full spy for the most part in this round. Jumpy is kept 1500, so he hasn't bought.
That boost is really cool over the smoke. That might be a situation where you could play 2 banana on the after plants. Plan to use the boost right at the gate, or just keep smoking and smoke yourself out. And I think maybe by the time the CTs realize that you've smoked yourself out, you get a kill.
Smoking yourself out's very fishy though. Very situational as well.
Well, that would be the situation.
But if I see people who smoke themselves out, I'm gonna spray.
Yeah, no. It would be to say on a 2-on-2 retake. I think both teammates would be like, "Whoa, did you throw that smoke?" And then
yeah, so I think it's situational. If they're not close enough to the site, then maybe you get some mileage out of it. But
Lecro. Oh, he's going to hear everything. He hears everything, surely, yes. This could be massive. This is perfect for the Max 7. The second shot not really following up, unfortunately, for Lecro. Some small amount of time has been bought, though, with that altercation in apartments for the rotation of the CT players from B to get in on their retake, and the bomb will be planted by G2. Apex has a great position, but with the Mac 10, it's not really the ideal weapon to abuse that headshot spot with. So it's going to be on Shocks. And this is a very classic setup, by the way. If you're 2 left on an after plant, where Shocks and Apex are right now, just copy that. As you will see this many times in professional matches. Effective crossfire, forcing your opponents deep for the peaks. Shocks actually going out there, and Crimson is able to get the 1v1.
no kit.
oh, he doesn't have it. Oh,
Got to get out of there. Well,
Damn.
the success continues for G2. Struggle is real for Fnatic. I wonder if Flusher will make an appearance later on in the game. I hope he does, because Fnatic have got such a good record so far. I want to see how far they can go, without having issues like this. So.
yeah. This really is a shame, huh? It is kind of interesting though, because we've seen G2 or Fnatic play the 3 like kind of hardest teams in the last 3 days, and they split maps, which still means they're doing really well. But
yeah.
Obviously, maybe a reason why their overall standing is so good is because they played most of the worst teams in the league first. But now that we have a situation where we've got G2, and they have to play with a manager, I mean, or is he coach? Coach or?
A manager, man. Jumpy is in the coach position, yes. He is the 6th man on the server normally. Dual Berettas keep popping out. I wonder what the moving accuracy is like for the Julies versus 5-7 now that the 5-7 has had changes, because that might be why we see more prevalence of the Dual Berettas. Now Shox has collected them. I'm going to check.
I feel like it's not good to play with the coach.
It's not ideal.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's not good for like your team to be exposed to playing with their coach. If that makes sense.
Why is that?
Because your coach isn't going to be top of his form, so it's just not going to look good. It's probably going to make some bad decisions. But and you know,
think it's going to harm the relationship?
Yeah, I mean maybe how the team views the coach. Or like I don't know.
I don't think they will. I mean, they understand the situation. Unless they're morons, I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty fine. I had some questions, by the way, on Twitter. I forgot. I'll look at the eco in the next eco round. Well, this is going to be a safe round for Fnatic, but they will have a full buy in the next round. So now maybe is not the time for any long-winded Twitter questions.
Well, maybe between games would be better.
Shox 14-6. Shox is having so yeah. It's a shame Shox isn't looking as crisp on the shots. Mo.
Yeah.
Imagine how many more frags he'd have.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe he'll just warm up too. But it seemed like with those kills, he got them, but they were a little bit rough.
At the same time, it looked like his mind was in the right place. And you sort of highlighted it insofar as saying, oh, the positioning was good, the decision making was good, just the execution of the frags just didn't look too Shox-like. But those are the two most important things. So. So I'm hoping to see that, as you say, he'll warm up and then we'll get some more Shoxy in there.
So the running inaccuracy on Dual Berettas is 26.85, and the running inaccuracy on a 5-7, for example, is 51.10. So it's pretty much double moving inaccuracy. So because for me, if I look at Dual Berettas, my primary thought is fire rate. And I think you would, on the CT side, compare obviously the Dual Berettas to the alternative of the 5-7. So I think it's being able to spam and strafe is why you choose one over the other. That's much great. Crimson Lecro with Kevlar for their Deagles. 4 Deagles on the Fnatic side. Jumpy with the CZ.
Wait, why did you bring that up?
Because I saw Golden with the Julies, and I thought to myself, why would he opt for Julies instead of a 5-7? Oh. But then the 5-7 was changed, so it rewards you for standing still with it. So I was wondering if maybe we were seeing more Julies because the 5-7 was worse when you're moving. Which, I don't know how much players actually look at the data on this level, but it's there. And moving inaccuracy is half on the Julies of what it is on the 5-7. So there.
Half in a good way?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is interesting.
GT have to be cautious here. The Eagles could end the round for G2 on this push of B, and it's just like that. One headshot, a second headshot from Golden, and his teammates are going to be able to use the numbers now to just crush Shox, the last man in. 3 AKs collected. Can they find a 4th? No, but 3 will certainly suffice. Moving forwards, Fnatic are going to feel pretty comfortable. Not to say that G2 can't buy though, but Fnatic definitely don't have to worry about a reset at this point.
When are we going to see smoke plants at the front of B again? Front of the fountain, all the smoke, planting the smoke. That's
yeah, like construction wrap strats?
Yeah, but just without a construction wrap, just plants in front of the site. Like on an eco round or a force buy round.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it would have helped them in that round at all.
Yeah, that round was an anti-eco, but they didn't have any smokes left for CT.
Lots of players. Okay, that's not a good start for Fnatic. And they need good starts. Crim's trying to avoid the flashbangs, but he won't avoid the ire of the G2 side. Body delivering a nice headshot, and this is surely a safe situation for Fnatic. Jumpy's being hunted. He needs to get out there. He's only got 30 HP. And trying to hide in plain sight is Jumpy. He was low on the bullets as well, but again, not really a good round for Fnatic. Lekro moving towards Speedway. Again, maybe trying to hide in plain sight, but that is a wipeout on the B bomb side. So we've seen some comments in the past evening from a lot of players about the sound update, complaining about it. Some in less reasonable terms than others.
I played with it yesterday. It's not even bad.
I think I would assume that a lot of people didn't move to HRTF.
Oh, that's why.
When it came out, so I mean, maybe they're essentially everything is new for them, because HRTF does take some adjusting to, and if that is a better way to play now, then if they have to turn it on as well. I mean, for me, I think get on deathmatch for 2 or 3 hours will certainly help. But 3 or 4 deathmatch, there's so many sounds, it'll only help to a certain degree, but it'll help. Because obviously, in the short term, things are confusing. What's interesting is that they've chosen to put it on by default just a few days before the... Is it the Americas minor, which is coming up?
Why does that matter, though? Because you can just change off it.
No, well, collusion is on by force.
Oh, on by force,
You can't
yes.
turn it off, yeah.
I thought you were talking about... Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, HRTF... But if you're not using HRTF, I would assume that the general sounds are better when you turn it on, right? So you might be at more of a disadvantage if you haven't been using HRTF. So it's like more that you need to learn in a short space of time. So timing-wise, you know, you could raise a question about that. I mean, technically, there is never, because the CS:GO schedule is so busy, there's never a perfect time to launch any significant updates. But around your major schedule. But I guess in fairness, they're not really, in that way you could argue they're not prioritizing anything over anything else. Which they could argue. I mean, maybe they should, but whatever.
I don't think it should take more than a day or two to get used to it if you play 8 hours a day.
It's interesting though, the collusion update. 3 Clicks Philip put out a video 2 days ago, which tilted me because he said comprises of, but you never say of after comprises unless it's comprised. Past tense. So I had to pause it.
Close the video and downvoted it and disliked it.
I had to pause it and tweet him and say, look man, it's comprises, not comprises of. Anyway, when I'm trying to finish this up quickly. When a weapon is behind a wall, it will make a different sound, and that sound will vary depending on the material of that wall. So if it's a wooden wall, a brick wall, it will make different sounds, which in the long run should give you better information as to where somebody is.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of experience on every single map to get there. But it'll be painful, but once you're there, it should be good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So right now G2 committing towards A. They don't have any of that banana presence, which you would like. There is still enough time in the round, but especially with that frag, it is time to spur on with the push. And it's going to be successful.
And then we see E not working.
That really sucks.
Yeah.
That really sucks. But there's still opportunity here for Fnatic. However, I say Fnatic for Crims, because he is alone. His teammate's still on the B bomb site, and it seems it's abandoned ship once again. Jumpy not having the best time in the world. I mean, he is playing against the French, which some of the worst teams to go up against when you're not as sharp as you might have otherwise been.
But maybe they'll think differently, because they'll be like, well, a lesser team will just beat them anyway. But G2 is that's the team where we need our full lineup, get all the points.
Yeah. O would be, and as for a sub, he's just thinking, who do I kill? You know, there's no MSL on this team. Who do I who do I try to go up against?
Got to play the crossfire.
Who would you pick if you could 1v1 anyone on G2? Who would be your... I'll probably still lose, but would rather play this guy than anyone else.
Jesus Christ.
I would just pick a name out of a hat.
How do you pick that? I would probably take Kenny.
Kenny.
Yeah,
Just
but
because
just no AWP.
because you were
play.
supposed to lose anyway, so that.
Yeah, well, no AWP.
Oh,
That's
Kenny.
like me saying I'll pick NBK, no rifles.
That's true. He did get you there.
Caveats. Just got to pick them.
Well, MBK's AWP is pretty sick.
All right, then if you can pick any of them to op 1v1 op India.
Apex.
I've never seen him op, so I'll take that. I'll take that. I'm not going to pick Shock. I'm not going to pick any. NBK isn't a good idea either, so Apex or Body. Just haven't seen them or pick them.
I mean, body can AWP, I reckon. I mean, we've seen him pull it out every now and again.
Have we?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Well, I mean, they don't come up with the body wall bang. You know. That
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Apex it is. Apex it is. Fnatic looking on course for their 6th round. Golden is in the pit now, so... Wait a minute, where's Jumpy gone? Okay, he's in the site, so they've changed things somewhat, maybe just for this round. Or he was around the site the previous round, so we'll see. But anyway, the CT side is almost over. I do wonder if they will use... I mean, is Jumpy gonna... Because if they put him in a lurk position on the T side, and G2 realize that, then maybe that makes them more aggressive on Banana, for example. Or maybe they use Jumpy as entry, but then you're messing up a lot of your team. Just like cannon fodder. First comes the last round of the first half, and this would be an important round for Fnatic to get. Got to put them on the back foot, having 4 of their main 5.
So 1 minute 20, and Crims is forced to deploy a smoke there at top Banana, so that pressure from G2 is working a charm. They've got MBK as per usual towards the abs there, sort of playing the lurk. Plant plot in your face. And G2 now just holding. And it would be nice for MBK to be able to get some, maybe some info here, but to be honest, there's not too much info to get. He's just applying pressure, still forcing out grenades here from Fnatic. And G2 might... I wonder if they're aware of the level of utility on Banana. Well, doesn't matter. They're going to go in straight away anyway. The bomb spotted and fragged. Now down to the remainder of G2 to try to force this to work, but it's just not really happening, is it? Apex does manage to take down Golden, but JW's in there quickly. Can he stop the plant? Okay, no, he's not going deep.
3v2 retake. You are surrounded. French not going to come out with their hands up. NBK now. Oh, avoids the flashbang. No push just yet. The smoke is too deep. Electro takes it straight in the jaw. Will he expect Jumpy from the same angle though? Jumpy using a Molotov. That's not going to cover his teammates, so he's got to go further than that. Oh, he needs to go for the frag. 7 HP. Jumpy needs to clutch now. 7 HP, and there are smokes all over the place, and it's not going to happen. I think he needs to creep with the rifle support there, because NBK didn't know a second play was there, but then he gave his position away with the Molotov. Molotov didn't cover his teammate, and it all collapsed there. So maybe some less than optimal choices being made, but of course we're not going to judge.
Yeah, they messed up a couple things there. They could have had the double peek on CT. They screwed up the smoke. Give him a false sense of security, and then obviously, just have the YOLO diffuse in the 1v1.
One thing that you lose when you become someone that's not as present playing the game, and you're more of in that coach role, so it's much more your job to think strategically and think about the macro sense of the game. So a lot more of the micro situations, you don't get the experience and exposure to them. It's harder to make good decisions. Ooh,
wow.
Yeah, that's a good way to start, isn't it? Only 2 players left here for G2, and if G2 are to lose this pistol, that would be 2 pistols they would have lost in a row. So Fnatic, they really need this to give them a fighting chance against a 5-man strong G2. Flusher's, if you just are joining us, Flusher's internet exploded, and so he is being subbed out by the coach of Fnatic, Jumpy.
What happened to that wicked Swedish internet?
I know, that's exactly what I said. I didn't believe it. I called bullcrap, man. I called the BS.
Put Jumpy on the spot.
Yeah, there's something going on there. Swedish internet does not fail.
So G2 decided to give it up. They both had perfect armor, but that is no longer the case. No one does. So everyone will have to spend $1,000 on the Fnatic side. Got some more money at the end there, which is nice. Great play by Golden here. 3K. Look how patient he is. That was exquisite aim. It was pretty on point immediately. Not much correction needed in his crosshair. There was a time where I would often grab the mouse too hard during pistol rounds and then just give it to me a mess. I've found my zen.
I've done that too.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
It's like the death grip.
Yeah, it's very strange because in any other situation, I'm not the panicky type in CS or otherwise. But in the pistol rounds, for a long period of time, I just couldn't stop it from happening until after the fact. It's like something you try to develop consciousness about to stop. It takes a while, but you get there in the end. I'm sure some people at home have that. I can't really offer any advice on how you stop that. You just need to be conscious of it and think about not doing it. And you have to trust yourself.
You have to trust yourself. You know, I always tell people is think about your last fight and how this is when it's spraying and people talk about spraying too much. I say think about your last fight and think about how long it took, and then think about like on average how long your fights take, and then realize if you took your time to line up the shot for a headshot, would it have been faster than you spraying for 3 or 4 seconds?
Yeah, I think Golden was a perfect example where a lot of people would just be spraying from that range. A lot of people as in non-professionals, but there really isn't any need. Just take your time, tap, tap, tap.
Yeah, the pistols are... Like, one of the things with pistols is that you need good tracking aim as well. I think that's like what really throws people off and forces them to spam, is because you like lose the target after the first shot. Whereas if you're tracking them constantly and you're sort of... Like this is like what I really try to advise people on doing is like you go to like what is it called, like ellipticals aimbots, yeah, and you like send the bots strafing left and right at a certain speed and just like practice tracking them, and just do it without firing at first. Just follow the model perfectly, then eventually you can start tapping, but at a obviously like where it's going to be most accurate, and then that's how you sort of want to play most pistol battles is you want to be constantly tracking. So that because people when they're playing pistol versus pistol, it's unlike rifle fights because rifle fights are more static, so your opponent will be moving around much more. So you need to be able to constantly adjust.
Yeah, one thing I learned from AZK in practice is that he used to just load up a regular aim map, spawn some bots, and then follow the bots' heads around with knives. And move closer to them, so that the mouse you have to move your mouse faster and move far away from them, and just try to stay on them the whole time.
Yeah.
Just for tracking.
Yeah, tracking aim is very, very important. I think we had this conversation before. Like one of the reasons why I feel like Quake was always very good, as far as building mechanics and general mouse control and skills, is because there's a lot more tracking innately in Quake, whereas it's not as much prevalent in Counter-Strike, but in Counter-Strike you have much more precision that's required.
Okay, so there's like rails, right? And in Quake you have to wait for your rail to reset, but the entire time you're aiming at them, or sometimes you're waiting to flick because you want to flick as opposed to track. But you can have the same thing with a deagle, because a deagle has such like a long cycle time, but it's not an op, so you can use that to warm up as well. That really helps. Just using a deagle in a headshot only or something like that will really improve your tracking as well.
That was actually my favorite things recently to practice aim in CSGO was actually just deagle only pistol headshot DM because of that very reason. You're actually completely forced to aim every single shot. And so it really requires like a distinct level of focus. And this is something that's really important if you're training your aim. It's like you have to really focus on trying to be more precise than you normally are. Because if you just do the same things all the time, then you're not going to actually force any improvement. So it actually requires a level of focus to improve your aim. But that's, I'm sure it's a topic that's been covered many times.
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, people ask me about aim training all the time because they don't understand what they're supposed to do. Everyone just jumps in an FFA deathmatch and sprays an AK for 30 minutes and wonders why they're dying a lot in games. I'm like, you just took 100 fights in a deathmatch. You got a lot of kills. But if you did that and you think about how many times you died, and how many fights that you lost and how little people were worried about fighting you, you're gonna lose a lot of fights in a game that's like 30 rounds. And you die and you're waiting there for like a minute. And you wonder, well, why did I lose that fight? It's like, because first of all, you were a lot more carefree, and second of all, so was the guy who was fighting you.
Yep. 1 minute 30. The score is 9-9 now. As we rejoin a bye round with Fnatic and G2. Very important time for Fnatic. Really, I think it's reasonable to expect them to lose at this point, purely because they're not playing with their full team, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at least they're on a T side in the second half, which I think is probably the better situation for them. And indeed, Jumpy is the lurker towards B, so he is taking some of Flusher's direct rolls, but will he be able to bait grenades towards B? Will he be able to know when to take a bit more risk and try and show some presence, maybe go for a pick or something? Speaking of which, there is Kenny showing some presence, taking a pick. Getting some information. He knows Fnatic are busy towards A. And that may rotate a player, especially with Shox getting taken down towards Arch. Molotov's in the library, and it seems one of the B players is on his way to A. And now maybe this is where Jumpy needs to start making some noise, making some plays towards B.
Making his way over. Apex will meet the push, does get fragged to the bomb on the way to that B bomb site. Good positioning though from the B player, MBK, playing the new box position, just hiding, just biding his time. This is a very, very smart way to approach the situation. Ooh, he does get caught. He takes one peek for information and gets caught by JW. Fairly unfortunate for MBK.
JW also the man with the op, so if he, the bomb, excuse me. So if he had waited, JW either would have had to drop it, made noise, or dropped it. I don't know if he would have made noise, but at the very least, there would have been an opportunity to just stop the plant and win off of time. The scary thing about taking Arch for the CTs is if there's two players on site, they really want to help the B player because they think it might be CT, but they don't know for sure. So they kind of have to wait there, maybe go down mid, which is also kind of a scary rotate. But it was weird to see, I think Shox like creeping back up on Arch like that to peek bracket after Kenny already got a pick. So they knew there was like two people there, but he was kind of doing it dry by himself.
Kenny will hold on to his AWP. We'll see the money of the CT side, and it's not good. It is not good. So there's potential for Fnatic to really get going, and G2 will buy around what they have. So this is a key round for both sides, for G2 not to let Fnatic extend their lead and Fnatic to break the money of G2 and look towards a 12-9 scoreline.
I think it's good that Jumpy is willing to just play whatever spots Flusher will play. I think the last thing he would want to do is displace one of his teammates, or one more person, by having them switch roles or something like that. Instead, he can kind of just hope that they can win the round without him.
I'm really awesome looking on the Inferno. They should have put me in there, man.
Yeah. Relatively speaking, or?
I know, I'm just awesome. They should have literally put me in there.
So objectively awesome.
I'm factually awesome.
Actually, factually.
Factually, actually sounds better.
That's not how it goes. Oh! One over the head, one below the legs.
So at this point, probably committing towards B. They don't have that top mid control. I think Kenny S has also been really annoying for the times when they've tried to slow take top mid. He gets that nice peek in there with a pop flash, or even just a dry peek with the AWP, and he usually gets a kill. So B it is, and MBK only has a UMP in this position. Apex playing pool, waiting for the flash here. There is no flash, and he turns around at a key moment. And with MBK, they're going to frag pretty much everybody. Crims will get a frag, but will he be able to save the round here? Goes for the plant on first oranges. Trying to bait out a player. This is that situation where sometimes if you don't plant immediately, you don't get another chance to plant. And this might be one of the chances where he's going to go for the frags, committing to the play. They line up, but he can't get the knockdown. It's going to be a 10-10 scoreline here as things even up. But
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, why not stalk your opponent in that situation? Why not wait? You know, the time's ticking down. He just faked the plant. He just shot at you. Stay hidden on banana. Don't push construction. He can't leave the site. Kill him after time.
They don't want the plant to go down, though. They don't want that money. That's
No,
4,000.
but he shot and showed that he couldn't plant.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good question. But I think if you're facing someone, were they already facing at that point?
They peeked him and then he shot and then they had a moment to fall back. They just
I think
decided to double peek him.
I think if you're visible, just kill him. Otherwise, you're making it too awkward for yourself. You might just both get sprayed down.
That almost happened anyway.
True. Yeah.
Whoa, that was a good nade. Meaty grenade, right?
And JW has nothing in response, unfortunately for him. Got to be careful. As G2 are happily bouncing around Banana, keeping an eye on things and sending a third player into the arch position alone. Shox will be towards the pit. So this is a stronghold from G2. And they have expectation, and it seems they are not wrong.
Just kind of passively holding as G2 are spotting Banana. Rotate's coming over for top bracket control.
Jumpy out there first with the CZ. Gonna have Golden with him as well with the AK. But he goes through Arch here. MBK stuck on the site. Doesn't have anyone to play off of. There's someone in pit there, so that's actually going to work out somewhat. Double from MBK. Shox now with their FAMAS. The French gun unable to provide more than a single frag there as Apex now makes his way in. Finds his opponents. Able to get out there for some engagements, but he's getting kind of tagged. This is very scary. One straight bullet is all it takes, and it's going to be the ult from JW. 11 rounds for Fnatic.
Resets.
Yeah.
Do they force?
No. Nah. I guess Shox could buy something. But depends if he wants to just stockpile that cash for the AWP.
Put the AWP back up.
Get full nades with it next round.
I'm surprised that the round went like that. Did they actually buy down?
How much money did they spend? They spent, whoa, what's...
Force.
I think that was a really weird round. I don't know. Body pushed Arch again by himself, and they had 4 at A, so they don't really need to go and do something aggressive. They kind of knew it was going to be an A hit. They just had to sit back and trade. And even Jumpy had a CZ set to entry, so they had a big advantage holding the site.
I'm really not... I don't like this force
No,
at all.
good.
Yeah, it looks like they're prioritizing their opponent's monetary situation versus their own, and they don't want it to grow.
It feels like it's not like a level-headed buy either, because everyone got head armor even. Like no one even thought, all right, let's just try to get nades and stuff like that.
Yeah, it does not seem optimal at all. If with one save, they would have had an actual like 4x4 utility. Like Shox would have had full AWP, armor, full nades if he would have done a full save there. So I'm not sure about it, but we'll see if it works out for them. Jumpy able to get in there, the entry frag with the Mac-10, and he will discover that the bomb site is pretty safe here actually, which is his job done. He could go and run off the map now and die. He's done his job. And Fnatic win the round, and GT will save the weapons and Kevlars they bought.
Yeah, that buy was...
I think it's really silly, I think. I think it's a silly buy. It's rare that I'll call a buy straight up silly, but I think it was kind of silly.
Considering the rounds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At least if they save, which they should be trying to save, not trying to...
I feel like the buys where you want to pressure the opponent's economy is much more relevant if you're on the T side and it's the CT's economy is weakened, because then you can at least, like with a CZ and a rifle, you can actually make with that buy that they had on this CT side. If they were on the T side, they could have made this a really cool round where they really use the strengths of those guns. But and also the CT buys are require so much more money. It's easier to reach that goal, whereas this is just you're very susceptible to what happened here. Jumpy goes into a site, sees that there's like one player there, and then they decide you lose a round.
That was the other thing. They saw that it was as you're mentioning, it should if your opponent's economy is weak too, then maybe you can pounce on something. But the previous round it was a 2-on-1, but before they've also won basically every single round and a half, so they have a lot of money left over. And they still don't have enough money to buy now. They have the armor that they can use again, so it's kind of just 2 ecos.
Yeah, and it could have been this round could have been an absolute full buy. If you consider that most players spent all their money and they still have this remaining, this would have been a massive buy this round. So That's kind of a shame because G2 is a team that should trust in their full buys completely on the CT side. Especially, you know, they love to go to those double orbs. They're good with them. You got Shocks, you got Kenny S on those AWPs. Why would you not be confident?
That's the real question is though. Is a CZ buy in French a full buy? In France a full buy?
Maybe that's it. Maybe you've cracked it.
That's what they're trying to make it.
That's a damn shame.
Well then, are these buys going to win the match for Fnatic? That is a question. I'm loving Jumpy with his Mac 10. They're utilizing him in the best way possible.
Yeah, it's hard to live up to Flusher, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
We were watching Flusher highlights yesterday for a brief time. It is hilarious, some of the things he's done in the past. Oh boy. Jumping AWP shot on Dust 2 on A. No scope, of course. Versus somebody standing behind a barrel and shooting them in the head. Unbelievable. Got the initial grenades. Will there be a molly though? Well, will Jumpy just... Oh, gotta be careful. Spraying completely blind, and he has been lost. But that's some information for the side. 2 players around the top of Banana of these 5, but what can they really do with this? Trying to re-aggress, but NBK is behind the smoke. There are 2 HEs, but are they on the relevant players? NBK creeping outside the smoke. Oh my god! There's no answer to any of these frags.
That was really pretty what MBK did with that second kill. It was like aiming with your keyboard. Instead of like moving his mouse to control his recoil, he just strafed to the left to finish the spray off. He didn't move his mouse at all.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was not supposed to happen for Fnatic. And now their money is a bit weird, to say the least. But so their money is actually kind of similar to what G2's money was like when G2 decided to go for a full buy. But Fnatic invests way less.
So is it their karma to win the game?
Maybe. I mean, we'll see what they can do with this. They're pretty scary with these pistols. I'm sad that Lekro doesn't have an eagle because he's just so good at it. But G2 have not... They don't have anybody in the apartments. They have Shocks just outside the exit, which is good and somewhat of a must in these kinds of rounds. You have to be cautious not to be too scared of the apps. You need to keep a check on it as the CTs. Okay, now Fnatic looking to go for an explosion out the balcony. And 2 players arch side, so maybe there's some breathing space on the bomb site. Indeed, there is plenty of breathing space, and they'll get the bomb down as a result.
A pretty cool execution, all things considered. Existence would be proud. They've got the re-smoke of Arch. That's going to buy a lot of time for the team. There are flashbangs on the CT side. There are diffuse kits as well. Lekra has a flash. Doesn't have any Kevlar. See how he chooses to use it. It's a short pop flash from him. Now they use this crossfire. Lekro, great positioning. Considering he's got no Kevlar, he's really done very well, Lekro. 3 kills for him, looking for the 4th. He will re-aggress. That is quite an answer from Fnatic. What a great strat from them.
Yeah, but like they only had 1 person on the set to kill it, and then they could just smoke everybody else out and then go after plant. Like, what if we had 2 CTs in pit? They could have been Lekro. You know, they could have stopped this before it even started. Then they had to go and retake. Obviously, nice shooting, but why did they put themselves in position to retake? Like they should have known that it was going to be some kind of anti-force buy or eco as well.
Well, now we're in a situation where both teams are on the buy once more. No more Mac 10s for Jumpy. He's on the AK, and he will be harassing Banana once again. Got to be careful though of the pop flashes from the CT side. So he'll start passive and maybe wait for some utilities to come. So just some shoulder peeking towards B at the moment from Apex, I think. Yeah. There the grenades come. So passive setup from G2. I wonder if the gates behind the sandbags, if you can still hear people who are running on Speedway from there, just to the left of the sandbags. Because on old Inferno you could, but I'm not sure if you can on this one.
I actually don't know either. That'd be pretty important too. Because then you have that like wall you can hang out in and sit and wait. Some people lurk there.
Yeah, I mean there were some updates with the sound in this game, so if you can't see someone and you didn't get even footsteps even when they were right in front of you but behind the wall, which occlusion will help with. So it might not have been possible before, but now with the sound update it may be back. Anyway, we've got Fnatic moving into the A site, and Shox is dancing around the smoke grenades. This is going to get really weird.
I love the shock smoke there. I think that was pretty cool. But he's going to push forward before the push has reached the site and just easily be taken down. But Kenny S is just knocking him down here. Misses the third shot, which will be unfortunate for G2. Just enough time to get that plant in there for Fnatic as Necro finds an NBK, a wayward NBK. And Apex now is just thinking about how can I keep this AK into the next round perhaps. Unless he gets an easy kill. But no kill will come easily for him. And where is G2's money situation? What is the money like here? So it's awful. It's really, really bad. This was this will be $1,900 in addition to what you see here. So Apex really does need to keep this alive, and if he does, they can maybe play with this AK next round and create something.
I have to say I'm kind of disappointed to see some. I don't know, some of these individual decisions. I wonder are like if they're actually the best possible option, because it seemed like Shox threw the counter smoke and that forces them off lane or like neutralizes their smokes that are meant to take lane control, and then Shox pushes it really early, and I can understand when his teammate dies on site, we probably should have only been watching for the jump up, but maybe there's a one-way smoke there. He wanted to make a play, but in the position he was in, it was pretty good, and as long as he knows no one crosses the smokes, he still got that smoke wall up for like another 10 seconds. So I wonder why he did try to push through the smoke. That's like another kill on a round where Fnatic execute that G2 kind of push up and give them one free frag.
Getting close, Fnatic. They are getting close. It's fun to see Kenny Orping in that round. Any flying targets, he seems really good at taking out. He should go shooting in Lebanon. My barber's Lebanese, and he says that a lot of birds migrate through Lebanon, but they try to, but they go into Lebanon and don't go out again. And then I see lots of pictures he sends me where there's like 40 birds just laid out, which they've blasted out of the sky.
He hunts birds.
Yeah. 3 rounds. Got pumpkins running around.
What happens when you kill them?
Same as always, I guess.
Just pop.
So I think GT did the smart thing here, just deciding to force buy. I think you can make an argument both ways, play for overtime or force buy. They're not that far away from 15, so you could actually just say, you know, we're going to play for overtime. But because Apex did save the AK, they're going to have a lot of firepower this round. So I think if they're able to make a good guess, then it could work out quite well for them. But it looks like their guess is incorrect, and they're not rotating just yet. Although they're looking for information down middle, so they're going to get a fast flank, a really fast flank actually. But MBK needed to do something on the side. He goes down immediately. And Golden has such a strong angle here for these players coming up Banana. What on earth can he possibly do? But he will find the frag here, but it's down to these Banana players.
Yeah. Tees know where the last 2 players are. Already trying to save it up. Just realize his body is close. Doesn't need to go crazy. Low on bullets in both weapons. He jumps again. Oh! JW really hungry for that frag. Necro's got a HE grenade. But I guess he's not in position as Prim's harassing. So G2 will hold on to 2 CZs. The rifles will be denied. And, yeah, I mean, I guess they could try to stay close to Banana, but there is player number 3 has made his way down mid, which would have eliminated them, because the bomb may have blasted a gun down, but Fnatic may be aware of that. Lecro down mid as well, so match point Fnatic in the first game. Hopefully Flusher can join us for the second, but first we must see through to the conclusion of this one. G2 by no means out of this just yet. The French guns are coming out. Shocks will continue on the CZ. Kenny on an M4 and NBK on the UMP. Okay, MP9's out for Shocks. Fast rate of fire. We'll see if he can use it in the position he chooses to play. Very quickly, G2 will put 4 on A.
See if the double arch setup finally pays off. Oh no, what a spray from JW.
Well, that's kind of a rip unless Kenny gets himself too, which he does. Okay, well there's still a chance here for Fnatic to shut this down, but they're going to have to... Well, it's going to be tough here. Jumpy is one of the 2 left alive. Going to have a pretty solid round here with Crims. They have a lot of utility. Jumpy will lose his 1v1 against Kenny. That's the triple for Kenny, but maybe Crims can somehow remedy the situation. At least Jumpy did a lot of damage to Kenny. There's the nade in. Unable to find Kenny though with that. Still a minute to play with, and Crims has so much utility. I like this. Cut the noise. Reset the situation a little bit. But the only issue with this is that the bomb is down on the ground by libraries, so the CTs can have relative comfort in positioning around it.
He has a smoke though, so if he can identify that nobody is on the site, if he moves into pit here, then he could just smoke them off. But he is wasting a lot of time, so if he doesn't get a kill, he is going to be in a horrible situation all of a sudden.
G2 players staying pretty active and checking multiple angles. And I think, you know, the reset has multiple benefits. You know that players are going to move to their... Oh, he doesn't even have time to get to the ball.
I don't know why he waited so extremely long.
Yeah.
It's like you could, you know, definitely wait 15 seconds less and have the same effect.
Yeah.
Essentially, like, the
That
bomb is
happens.
there, you know, so they're going to be set up around it.
It happens a
Yeah.
lot in situations where a T player or T players need to retrieve a bomb which they're not necessarily next to, where they spend a lot of time loosely approaching the bomb to a point, or like if someone's across the map, they spend a lot of time getting kind of halfway there and have to run the rest of the way there. You know, it's a weird situation. Good aggression from D2. This is a lot of information for them early. Will this spur Fnatic on though? It seems they want to move quickly anyway, but Jumpy's he's bottom mid with the bomb. A jumping shot with the UMP manages to escape towards the arch position, and Molotov is there. Golden's got to be careful with his timing because Body was just around the corner. Jumpy back on the Mac 10. See the quick QQ there from Golden, and again, Bolt's level habits. Get a kill, immediately spam Q. If another player's there, he's going down, but this is a situation 4 versus 2, and G2 may be on their way out of this tournament. Match, sorry, but Apex has brought it back.
Poor Jumpy.
Oh, he's got the Mac 10 as well. Oh, but they might line up for him. Oh! Wow, that is an unexpected finish.
Get him.
For Jumpy's 7th and 8th frag.
The
double
1v2.
with the Mac 10 1v2 clutch. Why the hell not? 16-12 for Fnatic. Definitely a bit upsetting for G2.
Impact frags, baby.